Kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Claremont, Florida for the second to last morning, because tomorrow morning we hit the road. Yay! I just realized it's been let's see, I last drove Sparkles 47 days ago. I'll power up tomorrow morning, hopefully she still starts. But before that I only drove for 30 minutes after a 14-day stay. So it's actually been it'll be 61 days since we were actually really on the road, as in traveling long distance. So super excited to be back on that again tomorrow. A lot to do today. So your challenges, why am I on an angle? That's the way I'm holding the phone. It's challenging a little bit today. So your challenges for today are really cool ones. So your mindset is opposite. And you're going, opposite? What's opposite? How many of you are right-handed? And have you ever tried writing or drawing left-handed? How many of you are left-handed, and have you ever tried drawing or writing right-handed? So your opposite today is to use your non-dominant hand as much as possible. When I learned many years ago to write with both hands. I was Form 1. I was 11. And the teacher in the classroom next to the classroom I was in actually broke his right hand, and so and he had it in a plaster cast, and he couldn't use it, and so he was having to learn in front of his students how to write left-handed on the blackboard, or chalkboard, whatever you want to call it. And I looked at the struggle that he was having, because we were lined up to go somewhere one day, and I just happened to look in the window and saw this going on. And in my little brain here, I said, that is never going to happen to me. I am going to teach myself to use my left hand as well as my right hand, so that should anything happen to my right hand, I have a backup. And that's what I proceeded to do. Now my left hand it's legible, still very much a chicken scratch, not as smooth as the right hand, but at least if anything happens to my right hand, I've got that. Then it happened 12 years later. I ended up with a condition called tenosynovitis, which is an inflammation of the casing around the tendons, and it prevented my fingers from moving. So my index finger and my middle finger on my right hand, I had a lot of pain there. I had a lot of swelling in the wrist, and it turned out that the casing around the tendons had actually swollen so much that I couldn't use my fingers. And so therefore I wasn't able to hold a pen or anything, so I had to use my left hand. And there are times when it flares up that I actually have to put a brace on with a metal support in it to keep it still for 24 to 48 hours, depending how bad it is, until the swelling goes down and I can use my hand again. And so those times I switch hands. Now I haven't tried drawing left-handed, so I'm going to try that tonight. I think I will leave my little drawing kit out so I can try that tonight. But it's always fun to see, because when you switch to using your non-dominant hand, you're now focused on the task that you are doing and not on the million of other problems that are over there in the distance. So you can actually you're focusing on a single task. It actually helps inspire your imagination and your creativity. Did you know that? You probably didn't. So you learn something new every day. So today, try using your opposite hand. So if you're naturally left-handed, use your right hand. If you're naturally right-handed, use your left hand, and see how things go. Now make sure it's all safety stuff. So like I have a trackpad on my laptop here, so I can very easily use either hand on that. It's not a problem. I even used a mouse, the actual physical mouse, with my left hand. The only ones I have problems with are those ones that are molded for the right hand. I'm like, seriously? We've got all these left-handed out there. How are they supposed to use a mouse like this? But most of the times I can use a mouse left-handed as well, and like I said, I can write left-handed. It's chicken scratch, but it's legible. And even when I pull the iron and the ironing board out on those very rare occasions, I actually now naturally iron left-handed. When I eat, I butter and cut everything with my right hand, but the hand that feeds me is my left. Because I notice a lot of people, this is kind of interesting, because a lot of people over the years are taught to hold, like, for example, most people are taught to hold their fork in their left hand and their knife in their right hand. And I've noticed this since moving to America, not so much in New Zealand, because we tend to keep the utensils in our hands and we don't put one down to eat with the other. But when people finish cutting their food up, they put the knife down, then move the fork to their right hand and eat with everything using the fork with their right hand. I'm like, well, that's weird. So, I notice this too with spoons. When you get to dessert, people pick up with the right, have their right hand, they'll pick up with the right hand. If they're left-handed, they pick up with the left hand and feed themselves that way. And I thought, that's kind of weird. So I trained myself so that now when I sit down and eat, my spoon is in my right hand, my fork, in my left hand, my spoon is in my left hand, my fork is in my right hand. So when my left hand, jeepers, I'm getting myself confused. So when I'm eating, I'm doing, the movement is all left-handed with the fork, with the spoon. A lot of times when I'm in the kitchen baking, I will use either hand to mix. I can switch hands to use the whisk. So I actually find, because I've trained myself over the years to use both hands, it's helped a lot. And even when I was many years ago, when I was in the Royal New Zealand Air Force, I was playing tennis for the base. I was on the base tennis team, and I couldn't serve left-handed, but I could play tennis left-handed or right-handed, but I couldn't serve. My serving could only be done on the right because it was just weird trying to do it on the left. I could not get over the weirdness of it. But there were times, rather than doing a backhand to return a shot, I would quickly flip the tennis racket into my left hand and do a left-handed forward shot. There was some interesting results on that one. But it gave me that flexibility that I could do that. So try doing things with your non-dominant hand today. Pick up the pen with your non-dominant hand and try writing with it. Some people have been forced through injury or loss of a limb to use their non-dominant hand. So when I saw that teacher struggling when I was 11, and I thought, that is never going to happen to me, I started training myself to do things left-handed, and now it's some of the stuff I do naturally left-handed, some of the stuff I do is right-handed. But I can use both hands for most things. So it's kind of interesting, as an interesting exercise to try and do that. Your business one today is Organise. Organise. Let's get that office space cleaned up, spick and span, get the desk cleared off. Today I am organising the RV. We are hitting the road tomorrow. So all the stuff that's been laying out for the last 40-something days, 47 days, 46 days, is going to have to get put away now. And I'm sort of like, ooh, where am I going to put some of this stuff? Because I do have grocery supplies. Before the COVID thing and stuff, I would just buy groceries as needed now, and I would just keep a very limited stock. Now my canned goods are a little more than I normally carry, simply because I don't know when I'll get a chance to shop again. I am going to do a quick run to Walmart today to do Walmart, or I'm trying to think. I'm going to do a quick run to the market today because I need to make sure I've got some fresh fruit to last me till at least Monday when I'm next on the road again. I still haven't looked at my next exit to see what stops I have along the way that I can stop and restock supplies and stuff. But it's going to be interesting. So I've hit the road tomorrow, so it's going to be very interesting. So today's all about organisation. I'm organising the RV, getting everything ready. Zephy's sort of like, what the hell's going on? It's been a long time since we've been on the road. And then your fun today, your fun thing today, finger paint. There are some great recipes online where you can actually use homemade finger paints, and it uses like cornstarch or flour and sugar, and you add food coloring to it. But there's some great recipes online that you can easily make finger paints for at home. So get finger painting today. What wonderful creativities, do handprints, and you see the kids coming home from preschool and stuff where they've made a handprint or a footprint and they've made an animal out of it, or a face out of it, or a bird or something like that. So what creative ways can you come up with what you can create with finger paints? So those are your tasks, those are your challenges for today. Your mindset is the opposite. Use the non-dominant hand as much and as safely as possible today. Your business is all about organization. Get the office organized, get the desk cleared off. If your office is looking good, go tackle a room in the house. For those of you that are still stuck at home, maybe it's time to go through some of those old files and get rid of the stuff that you no longer need. Shred them. Shredding day. Ooh, that would be good. Shredding. I have a shredder. Where did I put it? It's in the RV. I think it's under the couch. Actually, yeah, I do have some stuff that needs shredding. Maybe I'll put all the shredding stuff into a bag and I can do that later, like on Saturday or Sunday. And then, so mindset, opposite hands. Business is all about organization, and fun is go finger paint. Make it a colorful, super fantastic, sparkling, colorful day. And we will catch you guys this evening. Hei konera.